Hello folks, and welcome to another Smurfy video, and today I am doing what I call my class of 2016. So you can see straight away that I didn't decide to invest in the exclusive ramjet and thrust. To be honest with you, they were pricey at the time, and well, you know, we all know these things are expensive. So I decided to pass on them for now with the hope of getting them on later on in the year. Not this year, next year. So, but I wanted to share what I got this year in terms of masterpieces. So first of all, I'm going to start with the reissues. So first up, we have Sideswipe, and I got this figure because he was on a deal, and I got him for about 40 quid in the UK. But this reissue is absolutely beautiful. I love Sideswipe, and also I wanted to get him. I want to get all the masterpieces at some point, and you know, he was going for a good price, so you know, I thought I'd snap him up, and I'm quite impressed with him. I especially love this Autobot sign. It's amazing, you know, and he's got a bit of a dodgy crutch piece there. So let's move on to the next reissue figure. This is my favorite. This was the one at the beginning of the year when I knew he was being reissued that I was the most excited for, the Ultra Magnus. I don't think I've transformed his legs properly. Damn you transformations. But you know, this figure for me is what Masterpiece is all about. He is absolutely perfect, and I loved Ultra Magnus as a kid. So this was one that I had to get, and get quite quickly. And you know, the fact that you can get this figure for what, at the time, 110 quid, you know, and he's absolutely huge. And then you get Ramjet and Thrust at 160 quid, it winds you up, do you know what I mean? I got Artemis Prime for 110 quid, you know. And it just irritates me that a Seeker, which probably should cost about, 80, 90 quid, that's how I see them to be, especially when they're made of the same molds. It just, I'm sorry, it irritates me. You know, tell me if it irritates you. Right, let's move on. So this is more than a reissue, this Red Alert. This is the anime 14 plus, whatever that means. He's meant to look more toon accurate, but because I didn't have him, I thought instead of trying to get, you know, the original one that came out, I thought I'd get this. Obviously, he shares the same mold as Sideswipe, but you know, I think he's really nice. I like this figure. I'm really happy with him, and you know, he's next to his best buddy. So yeah, Red Alert. Did you get him, or did you just keep the original? Let me know. Right, so the first new masterpiece we got is Mr. Butt Wheels. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Oh man, he's gonna fall over. I absolutely love this vehicle. I love him in his vehicle mode. I love him in this mode. You know, you cannot have Optimus Prime and not have Ironhide next to him. It does not work. And, you know, I'm still devastated. I've just ordered the movie, and it's coming in a few days, the new Blu-ray Steelbook. I think in the US it's already out, but here we're just finally getting it. And, oh, it devastates me that this dude got trashed. So just to sell more toys, you know, why not just keep him and just add new characters in? That's what I did throughout the whole of the second series. I'm sorry, my hand's just going to get in the way. I'm going to be really annoying. So yeah, Ironhide, very happy with him. He looks nice, even with the skirt. Oh man, that's not what you want to do with your £100 toys, is it? Right, let me sort this out and we'll move on to the next one. So before we just move on to the next masterpiece, I just wanted to say having these two was pretty cool. You know, it still bugs me that you cannot see into their faces, and that's just a bit scuffy. Daniel looks a bit more clearer, but he has massive hips. What the hell's going on there? Maybe he was meant to be born as a lady. So let's move on to the next masterpiece. And here we have Hot Rod, and I actually really like this figure, even with the backpack, and you know, you probably wanted this bit here to be a bit more here, but I was really impressed with him. You know, I know that people say that this perhaps should have been able to fold in or something like that, but you know, I don't care. I like him. I think he's nice. Obviously, I would say be very careful. There's certain parts of the transformation and little bits like in there, you can see how thin that strip is. You know, those sort of bits worry me long term. But other than that, I think he is amazing. I love Hot Rod. And then we've got Ironhide's mold, or whoever, it may have been Ratchet, they built first mold again. I mean, you know, that's how they used to work back then. They used to use the same sort of molds. And for me, this figure is amazing. I didn't do the whole sticker there because I'm not very good at cutting things, and I probably would have messed it up. So he's not exactly looking full G1, but for me, you know, I'm happy with him. I like this figure and I like the character. You know, it's just a shame that, you know, you got blasted to hell. So let's move on to the only Decepticon in this video, which is, well, you can guess he's right behind it, Shockwave. Now, this was the only Decepticon that I have gotten this year, other than the Soundwave and the 5 cassettes, which I've ordered and is due on the 2nd of January, which sounds crazy, right? For me, this was a must-have because I think at some point he's going to become hard to get, and because, you know, you want a Shockwave, you want one of the big guns in your Decepticon team. And, you know, when I think about Decepticons, I think Shockwave, I think Starscream, I think Soundwave, I think the Seekers and the Insecticons. So, you know, I do want the Coneheads, but, you know, they can wait. There was more pressing figures to get, such as Shockwave and Ratchet at the time. My favourite this year by far is Artemis Primal. Big Beast Wars fans. It's probably what got me back into Transformers in the 90s. So, you know, this figure, to finally have a masterpiece of this scale instead of the figures we had back then, this is absolutely beautiful. You know, how they've tried to make it looks like there's actual fur on there. You know, the whole thing is just beautiful. You can tell that they really invested in it with the accessories, with the transformation. It's a really clever transformation. And, you know, in beast mode, the only bit you can probably see is a bit of this. So for them to get this so perfect, I'm really happy, and I'm looking forward to getting Cheetor in January as well. And the last figure we're going to look at is Inferno. And Inferno actually surprised me. I'm not a fan of the character, you know, he never interested me. He was in, what, a handful of episodes. I think I said that in a review that I did. But this figure is absolutely beautiful. I'm sorry, can you see his head? There we go. He is beautiful, and I'm glad I picked him over, I don't even know which Conehead was coming out, but I picked this dude over him because he looked better, and he was cheaper. He was still a bit expensive, but I think with what he comes with and how clever the engineering is, you know, I mean, just the backpack in this whole section it's a really clever transformation. It's not difficult. It was actually a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed doing this transformation. The only bit that I got a bit scared on was doing the arm bit, but even then that was really simple and just took a couple of seconds. So for me, you know, Inferno was a must, and I'm actually looking forward to Grapple now. Once again, a character I'm not really bothered about. You know, I like Jazz, I like Mirage, I'd rather see them. But, you know, these figures are working. I'm sorry, because perhaps I went a bit down there. So I'm looking at his crutch. What are you doing, you crazy person? So that is my class of 2016. And there we go. Who was your favourite of 2016? Mine's still Primal. It's not going to change. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to receiving your comments on who you got this year, who you liked, who were your favourites. Thank you. Bye.